set up. Got my desk cleaned off. Get to work. Yeah, I forgot my drink. Let's check. There's one Rex over there, but I want to wait a minute. Neither. The gates snap to the ground and then they snap to each other. So once you learn the distance, you can just, yeah, you're good. I'm gonna post this anyways, but yeah, they just snap on the ground, and then you make sure snapping is enabled, and you do the second snap that's at an angle, not the first one, but the second one, and then it'll just go around in a perfect circle of 6, and you slap the doors in. Here they come. And once those gates are down, your thing's pretty indestructible. Right? It's really, really hard for them to damage that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just regular metal. I think you can even use stone, but just regular dino gates. That's it. You just need 6 of them. I carry 8 because sometimes dumb things happen, and having a few extra can finish the circle that you've messed up without you having to pick anything up. Because it's all a game of how fast you can set this up before these guys start come rolling in. I wonder if Baby is here. Not Baby, Spartan. I don't know why I call him. What's his name? But still. But yeah, I start off with my Basilisk buried in the ground, so that if I need to dump stuff, I have a place to put it. Once the force field comes up, I usually move the Basilisk. The force field's a little closer than I want, but I'm going to keep it really small. It'll be up in 40 seconds, and then I'll have to shrink it down. A lot of people say that if you put the force field over the drop, that it causes them to have an issue running to the drop. So on an element vein, if you don't want to use a force field, you can instead put 4 Behe gates around the element vein to box it in and protect it. Yeah. All you really need to do this is the gates. Actually, let me just shrink it down to the smallest and then increase the size. That sounded like it was the end of the wave. Mm-hmm. Oh no. It feels so bad. Where are you even walking? It won't let me track it, but I know they're on their way. So when you kill the Reapers, Pally, they drop a purple gas cloud that damages both the rider and the dino. It's a debuff called Acid Burn. So if you're doing these OSDs here on Astraeos, they sometimes will send waves with tremendous amounts of Reapers in them. Kind of making this difficult. That's why you gotta make sure you have good food, water, med brews, just in case. Alternatively, you can wear a hazmat suit. And I don't think the burn damages you, but I do believe it damages the durability of the hazmat suit. So this also does damage my tech suit. Though I'm a liar and haven't taken any damage yet. Anyways, you can kill the Reapers without getting the gas on you. If you kind of do it strategically. Alright, there we go. Try again. I mean, that's good. Well, it's a good thing for it to be stacked red. That's what makes this guy different than the Giga. So the Blood Rage is a stacking buff. Alright, let me come over here for a second. Open Dino. Show buffs. I'm on fire. Blood Rage. Boosted HP, regen, and melee damage. So, when that's fully... Well, here, I'll just turn this on. You can see I'm on fire, and you can see his health going down. But then you can see it fills right back up. That's what happens when you have it up at 100. The effectiveness of that is that it's capped. And so, yeah, it just gives him crazy good. Thanks for letting us know. Hello. But that's what it does. The higher the stacks, the The greater the health regen and the greater the bonus damage. No, it's the opposite. You want to stack it up as quick as possible. Uh, it seems that Vahir, I think that's how you say that, doesn't care for the Giga very much and said it's Dookie. I haven't really decided yet. Um, but the Giga has the highest base damage out of a pod, and so a Giga the same stats as this is going to do way more damage when you unpod it and use it, where the Karcha has to have the Blood Rage stacked up. But, you know, the Giga also doesn't have crazy good health regen. So, you know, it's not really a question. The Karcha is better in every meaningful way. Last time I did one, I took it up to 25 waves. I'm really more interested in doing the element vein than this, but yeah. Like, so, the Giga also has a bigger melee AoE range as well. No, you can't ever have too much Ellie. Now, right now I'm working on testing what you actually have to bring buff-wise, stat-wise to get the maximum yield off of element vein. A lot of the research that I've been doing shows that, like, you don't have to have, like, UDs, like, you don't have to stack everything. There is a hard cap. The element vein can only give so much element, period. There's a clamp on it, so I'm trying to find the sweet spot between getting as much as I can, but also not having to bring a bunch of crap to do it. So far, mate boost is an absolute, imprint bonus is absolutely necessary. Autumn Drakeling is necessary, but until I get more data, I think that's all you really need, but you have to have two mantises, one with really high melee and one that has a decent amount of weight so that you can clear the drop quickly with the one that has weight and then one shot the node with the one that's high in melee. I'm just trying to get the numbers right to where I'm getting a consistent same amount of element. It takes a while because I'm doing it unofficial, and sometimes the node takes damage, sometimes it doesn't, so it's kind of hard to line all of it up. But there's something I've been working on. There were two legendary drops right outside of where my little fob is here, so I decided to do one of them. Oh man, the dragon took a 2-shot. Impressive. As far as stats, my Karcha isn't, the one I'm using right now is not the best Karcha in the world, but it is what I like to use for these drops. The, I guess, air quotes, arguably better Karcha has higher melee but less weight. I want the weight. For this anyways. For an element vein, not so much. Far, far more enemies on the OSD. Speaking of which, it's about time to unload Karcha. Oh, absolutely it is. Absolutely. The difference isn't that big of a difference between the two. It's the difference between one-shotting everything and two-shotting everything. is really all it is. I mean, that's a 500 alpha Rex that I just killed in like 5 or 6 bites. Ooh, an Astral Carno. Okay. Okay, well. Did I not get the loot from? Because I didn't. Yeah, no. Drop a bag? It did. That ain't it. That's it, and that. Well, maybe it was. I didn't make one myself. Capro. Right, well. Let's go ahead and get rid of stuff. But yeah, this cartridge's melee caps out at right underneath 3,000, and the other one I was talking about, they get almost to 4K, so there's almost 1,000% damage difference. Out the rest of it. That sucks. Give me enough time. The base stats of the Kartra? I'd have to say... Well, I can tell you in a minute. I have a spyglass. But it's not the max melee. It's like a 60 in weight and everything else in melee. I believe it's like 1600 before imprint. No, that's the other one. Yeah, I'll just show you when I'm done. It's better than that, I guess. Really looking forward to seeing what they do with the Giga rework. So I'm more interested in the Quetzal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Quetzal and, you know, actual real life history, but they were not a honking wimp that ran from everything. They were an apex predator. Yeah, like the Quetzal should be something you fear, not something that is silly. All the generic Quetzal does right now is honk at you and run away, and that's so uncharacteristic of what the actual species was like. Yeah, that would be nice. I like some of the mods I've looked at that involve, like, with the rework on the Quetzal. I like some of this stuff. I don't know too much about the Quetzal. I just know that it was a very aggressive and feared creature, but I would like them to see them move a bit faster and have some sort of glide mechanics. I think that'd be great. How many is left? One? It's a perfect time. Yeah, I thought you were getting attacked. Me getting off my mount sure as hell brought him over. Yeah. The Basilisk is really, really good. And the other cool thing you can do with the Basilisk, if you have the Dreadmare DLC, is once you pull the Basilisk out of the ground, you just put it inside the Void Pocket and go to the next drop. You'll see. That's why I don't know how many waves I'm gonna do here, right? I might just do 10 and move on to my next one. Cause 10 gives a pretty decent enough reward. I only like taking it up to really high numbers to ensure that I get like decent trades. But I've gotten mobility, top tier mobility trait off of just 7 waves before, so. And I also usually have a Drakeling 100% of the time, but I forgot my Drakeling in my fob. I'll grab it after this. But yeah, normally there's even more shenanigans. When I went on break, I was in the pod, and I reconnected to fix the mods. They weren't loading, and I forgot the Drakeling fell off my shoulder. Just wandered off without it. There's a bug, too, that I'm sure they're going to patch soon, because I made sure they were aware of it. But with the pet stand from Lost Colony, you can put it on the ground inside the dome over there. You don't need a foundation or anything to build it on. And yeah, if you use the key, if you make the key, you can put the Drakeling down on the stand and pick it right back up, and it gets rid of the cooldown for making the key. And that's why I keep that little bubble over there. Because normally when I have my Drakeling, once it's full, I run in the bubble, and then I blast like my Mantis, or I just have something sitting in there for me to shoot over and over again. So, swim that. Really think I need any more of this polymer. Just check for tributes. I wish there was a button I could click that just transferred all tributes to my inventory. Oh, welcome back, Spider. Did you get on? Oof. It seems like you and my wife are having the same kind of day. Man, I do not like those things. Yeah, it turns out I don't like most of the things that came out in Lost Colony, but especially those things. Don't get me wrong, like, if y'all like them, that's fine. I just think they're slightly off visually and don't really serve a purpose for me to use them. Oh yeah, no, I'm absolutely. Like I said, if people like them, I don't care. I just think that their body, when in motion, looks weird and could be better. And then there's nothing that they do that I can't just do with a Rhino, so like. Eh. And that's the problem here with Astraeos. Like once you get going, it's so smooth. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like Astraeos can be absolutely garbage. This is a server that I went to because it runs particularly decent. Oh, this is uncomfortable. It's a long server save. There we go. For the longest time. Yeah. For the longest time, I avoided this map like it was the plague. Mainly because I knew everybody and their brother wants to be here. Right? But eventually the shine will wear off. You know, and it won't be as popular a map. It won't ever be unpopular. With element is basically free here with very minimal effort. Basically all the bosses are the same difficulty, artifacts and tributes, but the elements doubled. So and 50k tech isn't bad. Not at all. Yeah, having an underwater cave base is pretty dope. What does actively ready mean? Just fully grown? If that's the question, yes, I do, sir. I should have about 20. I could have more if I sacrifice females, but... Oh, and saddled. See? That's why I asked that question. No, but they will be. What's the situation with that? Yeah, like I can be ready. I can be ready in an hour or less, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I have. I don't know exactly what's going on. Oh man, get off my nuts, Jesus! I don't know. I'm kind of cruising through the waves in a way. I kind of want to push this a little bit. Last time I did up to 25. I don't know. Just a wall of text. You know what I want to find is some good event reapers. Pally, you ever had a... You have any reapers? You ever done that? No, reapers are really cool. They're basically cartridges that can jump. Yeah. I have some cool colors. I have a couple Reapers that have really good stats. Like I have a 60, I think it's 62 melee Reaper. I think I have a 58 weight one. But unfortunately, the bomb ass stats are always on the ugly plain Reapers for some reason. I think I figured it out. I don't think the force field makes the dinos bugged. I think them having a target inside of a force field is what makes them bugged. I'm gonna test it. But isn't it possible to... Hmm. But isn't it possible to what? From an OSD to Pally, I'm sorry. Ah, 48's not bad. Like, I went through a lot of Reapers to get those two high stats. I think I also have like a 48 or 50 health on one. to Beefy Boy. No, my cart's just not fully traded. 0 traits on it. To be perfectly honest, I don't really feel like they need them. Like, obviously, the bearings would be really cool. But I don't really feel like it's any trait that I really have to have. I think athletic would be pretty good. Just because it suits the cartridge well. And already has, it would just amplify its already good health regen. But it would also add a little stamina regen. I finally level. I didn't, I will by the time this is over. Yeah, I don't even really know what I would do in traits for cartridge. I think it would have to be pretty specific for what I'm using the cartridge for. But I do think like carefree and athletic would be good choices. As far as like non-obvious ones. Obviously Vampiric would be great. Angry might be alright. I'm just getting slapped around now. There we go. So like specifically for doing this, I'd probably trade up the other one that does more damage that has less weight. Because this one's weight's already so good with no points in it. Yeah, like almost 2.2k. Huge amount of weight. Yep. This is also a great way to level chibis as well, but I'm sure most people know that by now. One of these Rexes will completely level a chibi from 1 to 5. One of these Alpha Rexes. Oh. So where's this butthead at? I guess I can level myself up. Nah, you got the R plants? Yeah. Yeah, I have stacks and stacks. So what is bugging on me? What am I stuck on? Pheromones. That's what you're talking about, Spartan? Well, I wasn't offering to farm them for everybody as much as I said I could grab my own, but if you give me a number, oh, I see what I can do. Like, I can get 5 or 10 of them pretty easy. After that, it's, just takes time. Waiting for them to respawn. Guys get closer. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. And that's it. I like to end it like that so that you don't end up with a bazillion um, dinosaurs from the previous wave. Yeah, this was pretty smooth and simple as far as things go. Why aren't you letting me inject the loot? There we go. I'm tripping over the Bassie. Got it. Let's have a look. Did I really get a metal cliff weapon? Awesome. Those. I forgot they were even on the loot table. Alright, traits. Medical. Catching. There's another mobile. Pretty much achieved my goal. That's all I wanted was a mobile. I don't want that. Not a dumb. Oh, yeah. Well, they're not going anywhere. Sorry about that. But yeah, I do need to sit down and talk to you about that. Just put all that junk in there. Let's get the heavy junk out of here. Okay, the best is at its limit. This guy is struggling. This is why I usually have a shoulder pet. Or my good dreadmares, not my wild tame ones. They were a very pretty wild tame. That should be good. Thankfully, we don't have to go far. We've been on this rodeo before. Oh, I'm good. I'd have been absolutely fine if I hadn't have forgot the Drakeling.
I need an adult! I need an adult!
I don't know about y'all, but that whole hold Q thing for this other bar is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't see a use for it. Frustrates me more than anything. Me either. But I sure do accidentally tap it all the time. I just got a new keyboard and the keys are shaped different, and so I keep sitting my hand down in the wrong spot. That is sure driving my ass nuts. Alright, I'll come back for the horse in a second. I really gotta get my good dread mares over here. They have as much weight as a damn basilisk. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have a seizure if you don't mind me. And so, put the org poly in. And as such, too, I constantly hit caps lock for no reason. Scrap metal. Spot for scrap metal. Build. That's for the most of that. I got left a bunch of saddle. So what's weighing me down? I don't understand. Where's all the... Oh, I only weigh 900. Okay, that makes sense. Say... No, X-arms. Oh, nice. You gotta watch Spartan. He's a pokey sniper. Nice. I will be right back in just a few minutes. I'm gonna stretch my legs and get something to drink. Whew. I'm getting too old for stairs, man. Um. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't do that this second now. Gotcha. Perhaps a little bit. I have some booty paste. Oh, speaking of paste. Yep. Corrupted hearts. Really thought I had put the. Right. So. Drake feathers back here. To this fridge.